Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for being here today. Today is our art talk number 47 with an incredible woman, part of this amazing, vibrant community of Miami that help us to appreciate art 365 days a year. So I really have an incredible pleasure to introduce her to all of you. Her name is Kathryn Mikesell. She's the co-founder and executive director of Fountainhead Studios. And we just absolutely admire her because knowing how difficult it is to make things here in Miami, to have that persistent and dedication to support art in the city is something that we really, really respect. This has been an incredible week. We have reviewed two exhibitions for our online exhibitions. We have spoke with David Gill, one of the most important art galleries in the world from London. And tomorrow we're going to speak with an antique dealer from Istanbul, Erkal Aksoy, who deal with very, very old antiques. And it's sort of that part of me that is a bit of a designer. Kathryn has been around for some time in Miami, and she and her husband are just part of the community, and we are very, very excited to take a look when she's going to be connecting. These are the moments let's just take a look. Where is she? I can see Dina Mitrani here, connected. Thank you for being here. From Paris, Leonie Duarte. Let's take a look. Let's just wait for her to connect. It's going to take a second, but it's going to be happening now. Hello.
Hello.
Kathryn, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Thank you so much for giving us time to talk to us. I was looking forward to this conversation. I explained to everybody that for me, that I have been here for some time in Miami, seeing your incredible and constant energy supporting the arts and make the arts alive 365 days of the year is quite, these are my total admiration.
Oh, thank you. Well,
So
it's for me, it's just it's a privilege to be able
it
to
is,
do that, and
it
it's
is.
an honor and a pleasure, and we have such extraordinary talent and incredible people like you, making a difference here as well and supporting artists and engaging our community and bringing people together. I mean, it takes us all.
Yeah, I did it. I did it a long time ago. I think, I did it and it was exciting. And, I was just taking a look of pictures of the first year of Art Basel and how it got canceled and the year before. And then every year, I'm so excited to see the city growing and lots of people coming, and they make a boom and then they leave. But you stayed and you have been relentless with your husband, uh, creating this amazing place that is a safe haven for artists. How did that art thing, bite you? How did you get that delicious poison that is being uh, part of the art world?
I
Anyway,
love that delicious poison. I
yes, it
might
is.
may I use that?
Yes, it is. It is. It is
I love
something that
it.
you cannot get rid of. It's
I
just
know. Oh, and you would never want to. So that's why I'm like, I don't, poison has a negative connotation, but it just started because Dan and I were both, when I moved here to be with Dan when we got married, and we were both traveling extensively for work. Like literally, we only saw each other on weekends. I was on a project in Carlsbad, California, and we had just started a company um, that Dan headed in Venezuela. And
yeah,
so we left Monday morning and we came home. I took the red eye and got home Saturday morning, and he came home Friday night. And so we were looking for a way to. We were also both in tech, so we could sit there and talk about work all day long and you know, all night long. And we didn't want to do that. So we thought about what we could do together, that we could learn together. And his family had collected art. My family had not. I had never been to an art museum or gallery prior to meeting my husband. And but when we moved in together, he had several works of art, and they just, I don't know, they just filled my heart, and I reacted immediately. And so we decided that learning about art and collecting art was going to be our thing that we did. And so we joined the board of the Art Center of South Florida, which is now Ulite. And then we just went and started visiting local artists and buying work and really getting to know them. And then we found that they, you know, and then they became, you know, a large portion of our social circle, you know, our friends. And we very quickly realized that we loved the art, right? But what made it really come alive was knowing the artists and being able to be a part of their lives and hopefully be a part of their success in their careers, and just listening and learning. I mean, the conversations had such tremendous depth and emotion to them. And you know, we were learning new things constantly. So, you know, it just fast forward, it kind of became our entire lives. You know, it was like we worked to support the arts.
You know, no, it's truly, well, you know, I have mentioned before, you know, when I moved here in 2000, back from New York, I have seen a wave of incredible collectors, and you know, I think it's worth it to mention their names, who have been incredibly generous to the city. You know,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Margalis, you know, all other collectors who have been, you know, just creating their own personal collections. Um, our museums, many of them, the archives are empty. You know, they're incredible art collections, but the museums somehow a little bit, you know, not that full of fantastic art. You know, I have seen.
Now I have to push back on that, because I think I like our museums. I think
They're
you know,
wonderful.
we can always, you know, get better in for all of us. But I do like our museums.
Yeah, no, I think what's happening now, I mentioned before, you know, what's happening now is incredible, because museums like the Paris Museum and like the ICA, you know, the collectors have been moving their collection to these museums. They really enrich this museum. But when I moved here, the museums were pretty much empty, you know.
Oh yes, you're talking about prior, yeah.
Oh yeah, prior to that, you know.
But they were like teeny tiny, you know.
Yeah.
There was also, it was very, I mean, a lot of people have asked why didn't collectors, you know, why didn't they donate more to the museums earlier on? And I said, the reality was a lot of them were small. So if you donated your collections, you know, they might not get seen. But, you know, I mean, that's, you know, still niche, but might not get seen for, you know, but once every 10 years or something like that. But now we have these incredible institutions.
Yeah, no, on the 90s, they you know, the Bonnie Clearwater, you know, with have the patronage of these collectors. The downtown museum, the Miami Museum, have other ones. But now that the collectors actually are sharing their collection with the museum, finally we got that. So we're going to a point, you know, I'm doing a little bit kind of like memory line kind of thing, right, of my experience in Miami, and then going back to where I met you, you know. So then I have seen so many people coming back and forth, you know, and they come and they create a splash and they leave, you know. I've been heavily involved with Art Basel. I always believe that and tell to people that we're just becoming a real big city that week, and then we just kind of come down. But you have, in a way, create a community, a program that make local art vibrant, not only with the artists in the city, but also bringing people from other places in the world to be in a residence. And all of that, you know, when I heard about it, maybe a couple of years ago, I was like, I want to meet this woman. This is I haven't heard anybody so involved trying to create a community of artists and not create a personal art collection, and that was kind of like what I'm going for. And then you create this program with your husband, between you and him and your properties and your partner's properties. I don't know too much about it, but that is a city, and it's a city and constant movement, and that now you have great, you have a nice board and you have grants and you have all that. But at the beginning, were you and him alone doing it?
Yeah, for almost 10 years, it was just Dan and I. And I have a story. One year, it was like 2000, I don't know, 9 or 8, when things were financially, it wasn't that, it was another one of the downturns. It wasn't at the beginning. I can't remember. One of the times when it was very financially challenging, shall we say. And we said to our kids, because we started this when our kids were young. And we said, this, we always try to be very open with our kids about finances. Like, I think kids should learn the value of money very early on. So one year we said, would you rather have, all like the luxuries in life, right? And big Christmases, or the residency in studios. And they both immediately, without thinking, said, oh, well, of course the residency in the studios. Like, because it has fed their lives so much, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
all of the, trinkets and things and electronics and all those, they come and go. There's always something new, like you're always behind on, but it was just fascinating for me to hear that from our children.
yeah. To impose such a level of generosity, because I have seen you, when you put your Instagrams or your Facebook, cooking Friday night. There's many fancy events around town, but you are at your house cooking for your artists. Hands on it, helping them to fix their studio, while many other people are in a gown and doing the party thing. That deserves lots of respect for me, because I have seen how difficult it's been for galleries to survive, for artists to survive in town. They always believe that they have to go to New York or to London or to Los Angeles to make it. And then you are constantly, sending us messages. We have 3 new artists or 5 new artists. We have come into the studios, take a look. That is a constant level of information that we have through the year. Where Miamians have to be very grateful for that. And you have your job, you are a mother, you are a wife, your husband is there, but then how did the challenge, where is the challenge, a part of the financial challenge that will always be, because I'm sure you want to make some bigger projects, but what is the channel to get these artists, after you invite them in Miami, trying to connect them with the community, for them to sell their pieces of art and somehow move on to the next step? What do you think is that you feel that you need help on it?
Well, I think I need help on. Well, you know what? I think it's all about, it's all about eyes and opportunity. Creating, the more eyes we have, the more the more people that come to see what we're doing, whether it's through Instagram or when we can open and have events again, whether at the residency and at the studios. I think it's just coming and being a part of the community first, because I promise what it gives is something that is completely unique, right? I mean, you'll walk away with your heart full. Like being able to spend time with artists is just magical. It's so rewarding, and it's something to do by yourself. It's something to do with friends. It's something to do with your children. Like it's just such a rewarding experience. And then, each one of those people within the community to do something that has an impact. And it can just be a conversation, a hug. Maybe you see a work by an artist and you're like, oh my gosh, I think my friend you know, would love to meet this artist, and making a
You did
connection
that with
there,
you did that
buying
with
work.
me. You
Yeah.
did that with me. You introduced me David J.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
the I always remember, without knowing, I said, look, I think this art. I was like, wow, great, so generous. You don't get used to do that all the time when
Yeah.
people share,
Yeah.
to push their artists. I think that is great. So you think it's presence. We have to go and be presence,
Yes. To go and be present. Obviously, purchase work whenever you can,
which
whether
is
it's
important.
from, yeah, whether it's from the artist, their gallery, whether it's something that we're offering at Fountainhead. But just if you have the means to purchase, please do. But also just think about, like, I think there's so much value in connecting people, because the opportunities that can stem from those connections are even greater than the single purchase of a work, right? And I think, if we're learning anything during this time, it's how connected we are. And it's about how do we just continue that and do them very thoughtfully and proactively and intentionally, to make a difference in the life of an artist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that fantastic because you even with this project you rebuy a part of the neighborhood, and that sort of corner of blocks that are around. There are many galleries who are moving there now, close to you, next to you, because they see people out there all the time. It's super excited actually to drive around there just to see the artists, wear hair or paint on their clothes or the elements. It's just fascinating because you have made that area, which is a little bit of Little Haiti with,
Yeah.
uh, you know, they have a boutique store the other day I passed there. It was a beautiful
Yeah.
store, and then Primary 12, which is a very vibrant gallery, is there.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed, to see that is happening in our city.
Yeah.
There's not only Wynwood, there is
Right.
also that area and Alapata, and that is quite great. How do the programs work, for artists that are interested? You apply, what is your selection committee, based on what?
Right. So we have a number for the residency. There's a number of different ways. Right now, I don't know when we'll have an open call, because we've while we've actually been operating the entire time,
Mm,
we've been doing some interesting things that we haven't been able to do in the past. So we had 2 months actually where we brought Miami-based artists in, which, the residency is always national and international artists, but due to travel restrictions and quarantine, that wasn't possible. So we were able to support some Miami-based artists and do some very interesting dinners and some community conversations that I that I just loved doing. But so the residency, so now we have to, we when we can start bringing more international people, and we have to find slots for those, and then we have some national artists that we need to fill in as well. But there will eventually, I promise, be another open call. But then we also work with local curators as well as national and international curators. So a lot of our artists come in through nomination, with a very diverse curatorial board, and then a lot come in through our alumni recommending artists. And then we also have international partnerships with the Africa Center and the Ministry of Culture of Colombia, and Artis, which focuses on Israeli artists. So we bring a lot of artists with those organizations. And then locally you'll see some more new collaborations coming soon. So we have, last year we collaborated with every year we're going to collaborate with a new local nonprofit that, through the Fountainhead residency, they'll be able to realize projects they wouldn't otherwise be able to realize. So one was last year with the Commuter Biennial, run by that was founded by Laura Randall, who is on the team of the Rubell Museum. This year we had to postpone, but we were doing one with Bass Fisher Invitational, but there were some international people coming for that, so that's going to happen now next year. And then we have a collaboration with Diaspora Vibe with Rosie Gordon-Wallace every year, where we bring an artist from the diaspora. And there's 2 or 3 more that are bubbling under the surface that have that are collaborations that we've been wanting to do, and due to COVID, have progressed some conversations, so we'll see about that. But really, if you follow our Instagram and our newsletter, you'll anytime there is an opportunity, excuse me, we'll announce it. We're also going to be doing one each year that's funded by the Shepherd Broad Foundation, which is a foundation that's based here, that's focused on artists that have immigrated to the United States. So we're hosting the first of that series in October of this year. So I'm very excited about that. And that will continue as a program. And then for the studios are for local artists. They're just studio. The residency is live and work. The studios is just studio space. And that you just reach out to us if you need a studio, because even if we don't have space, we will try to let you know of any spaces that we've heard that are available. Because our goal with Fountainhead, the reason we founded Fountainhead Studios is because we just very simply wanted artists to have affordable space. Like, most importantly, artists needed space. So if I'm full, or if we don't have the right space for you, then we'll say, okay, I've heard that either Oolite has their applications open, Bakehouse has their applications open, or I heard there's a space available at Laundromat, or somebody told me that Pumo's got a great warehouse down the street that is, I'm sorry, my daughter's leaving for work. I love you, baby. Have a good day at work. Sorry. And
it's a working mom.
Yeah.
Life.
And Sky's going off to work. So I'm always trying, like, if I hear, or maybe there's an artist that started a complex like Collective, like Nina Sorella Collective 62, like any other studio spaces that I know of, I will make sure to tell people. So, and that in the studios, when we do have space available, I say that it's curated not only on the art, but on the people, because it's very much a community. I want diversity in every way, from age to medium to self-taught versus Yale MFA, because I think that people really feed off one another. If we all look alike and do the same things, it's kind of boring. Like, we want to meet new people, challenge our ways of thinking, understand other ways of living and working. So there's not like a formula for the studios. It's very organic. And and also the studios don't have term limits, and the leases are only month to month. So, and we did that because we didn't want an artist to have the burden of a lease, right? So, if their financial position changed, they were stressed out about having.
I think it's fine. Yeah.
We didn't want artists to be stressed out about what they were going to do, to pay for their lease. And at the same time, we wanted people to be able to stay. Like, we didn't want to say it's only for a year or only for 2 years, because, that's something that, those are great programs. It's just not where we wanted to be. We wanted people to feel safe, that once they signed a lease, that they knew that they could stay. And because I find that artists leave, like, artists need to shake it up and change their studios as well. So, yeah. Or they get opportunities to go into another studio complex and be a part of another community, or they get an opportunity to do a residency. So it gives artists the flexibility to do what they need to do for their career and for their lives.
Yes,
that's really long-winded.
Yeah, it's a different lifestyle, and the way that you support, and with the flexibility for them not to have a strict list, sign a contract, it's fantastic. I'm going through some of the images that you sent me, amazing artists who are actually working at this moment.
Yeah.
at the residence, and how they make each space their own. They play music, they paint, they sculpt, they draw. It is fascinating to go out there and just go around, and each little room is a little world.
Yes, that's what I love. That's whether you come to the residency or the studios. Like it's so. I mean, being in an artist studio it's like it's such a privilege because it's like when you walk into an artist studio, you're seeing inside their mind, inside their body. You're exposed to their heart and to their soul in their studio. It's you can see what they put for the local artists that have their studios long term. You can see what they put in their spaces to inspire them, you know.
How amazing that.
And you can see that all of their tools. And at the residency, it's fun to see how people, use domestic spaces for their studios and how they make themselves feel at home in a temporary environment, and it changes with every group. The tables move, the walls move, the colors change. Like it's fascinating.
I think that they also get the opportunity to know how to present their work, because many collectors go there with art dealers. They get the opportunity to learn how to negotiate the world. They share experience between them. They know how to sign contracts with galleries. They know how to kind of like express themselves,
Right.
because in a way, that gives them the opportunity to socialize with the system.
Right.
You
And
know,
that's a very important part of the residency is this kind of organic professional development, we'll call it. So because when they're here, they speak with collectors, curators, gallery owners, other artists, of course. But it's how they communicate their work to a lot of different people. And we talk about that, watch, pay attention to people's facial expressions and their body language as you're speaking, to see what they connect to and what they don't connect to. And it's different for the different audiences, right? And so that's a very important part of the residency. And then we also have, formal artist presentations as well. And then we have several members of our board that will help artists write their artist statement, which is one of those things that a lot of people struggle with. And we have attorneys on our board that will help give advice. And we have a banker on our board that will sit down and talk finances with you. All of these things that hopefully will help in your life and in your career.
Yeah. No, me as an online gallery now, I used to have a gallery, but now learning to represent 34 artists for all around the world, trying to let them know what is, the art to sell online, how to express their message, not only through the image, but also through the information that they have to express, and the sort of small paragraph. Because, buying online is an instant gratification. While here, people can go and just take a look of the artwork and present. But then you get the first pick, you and your husband.
Oh, wait. Yeah, but I'll be very honest. We're really not collecting a lot right now because our kids are going to college, so we're the reality of life.
Yes. Yeah, but it's amazing because through this amazing support that this organization that you create, you help us to develop a neighborhood which is already safe and secure. I guess it always was safe. It's just look a little bit abandoned in a way. But now the graffitis and people doing. Then you have help. How many artists through this year? A couple of hundreds, no?
Well, yeah. So we we brought over 420 artists to the residency from, I think it's 47 or 49 countries around the world. And then we, at the studios, we have about 30 artists working. We also do, in normal times, we also do we do like monthly artist only events, whether it's having a meal together whether it's we've gone to like Fun Dimension and played laser tag and and bumper cars together. I am planning a kayak and paddleboard for artists because that's something we can do in this socially distanced time. So that's what's coming up next. But we try to involve as many artists in the community as possible, because the community's our most valuable asset. And then, last year we started Artists Open, which was the first ever Miami-Dade County-wide Open Studios Day. So we worked with studio complexes from, I think the farthest north was like Bridge Red, that started by Robert and Kristen Teeley, down to the Deering Estate. And we did not only the main complexes, but also just clusters of artists working in any non-residential. We couldn't do residential spaces, but any non-residential spaces. And we had over 300 artists participate in 2018. And in 2019, which we didn't get to do, which was because it was supposed to be in May, we had over 370 artists signed up to participate. And that's a day where we provide, everything's digital because we're also a very green initiative. We don't print anything. So we had over you get a digital map, everything's online, and you can go and you can either search artist names. So if there's specific artists that that you want to meet, or you can choose what's right in your backyard because the map will tell you that. Or you can just choose to go to smaller studios that are, that would not otherwise be open, or maybe you just do the big complexes. So, we provide you with all the information that you need to go and explore Miami artists from Doral and Hialeah to the beach, north to, North Miami and south to,
it's unbelievable.
Coral Gables and
it's truly remarkable to be able to spend so much energy, I'm passionate about it, to support local artists because they need it, generally, they are here during the entire year. They need to work, survive, they need to live, they need to eat. How does it goes to buy? What is the schedule generally? By appointment now, or how does it work?
Yeah, right now it's by appointment. Because we don't. Yeah, it's all by appointment, and I'm very accessible. Like I hope that I try to be one of the most accessible people available. I'm not. Yeah, my information's on the website. I'm not as good on social media, but I'm very good with email and texts and phone calls.
You are. That's what I'm a witness. But then, okay, so they go there, they can buy it right there on the spot, credit card, cash, check. Do they have them online, or it have to be a one-to-one?
Well, I'm happy to connect you directly with artists, and then you can also do one-on-one studio visits with artists. So the other thing that we're doing now is, and it started March 31st during the quarantine. We took Artists Open online, and we opened it up to not only residency alumni, but and Fountainhead Studios artists, but all artists living in Miami. So now we're doing it just on Mondays and Thursdays, but you can go to our website and see the list of artists that will be doing the Instagram Live virtual studio visits. But if there's, and so that's a great way to learn about new artists. And if you are a Miami-based artist, all you have to do is go on our website and sign up, and we'll slot you into a date and time, because this is something that will continue from here forward as a constant platform for Miami-based artists. And I'm also I'm very happy to make, I love connecting people. So if there's an artist that that you're interested in buying and you can't find a way to buy them, I will happily introduce you to them.
You are very generous with that, and I really appreciate that, because I think it's important that we collect local art.
Absolutely.
I have seen many cases where artists from collectors from Miami go to New York to buy the art of a Miami artist, which I don't know makes sense. But we are here. We need
Yeah.
to help them. We need to support them. And that's the reason that I wanted to talk to you and applaud first what you do, because I think unbelievable. You're a mother, you're a wife, you do this, you have all these ideas, incredible energy, and more than anything, you're generous with the community, and that's something that we all need, to share. We need to cannot forget that they exist, you
Yeah.
know, and they give us a sense of happiness. I
Yeah.
think Arthur, our boss, will choose Miami for that cultural thing that is happening in Miami, and you have anybody there. You have white, blacks, gays, any kind of person is
Yeah.
accepted.
Yes, yes. We love bringing lots of different people.
Are the artists keep in touch after they left the resident?
Yes, yes, we stay in touch. I mean, I would love to say that we talk to everybody all the time. We don't. I mean, you kind of go through cycles where you'll
Yeah.
start talking to someone again. Like I just saw something from Simone Vega that I think was with us back in, I don't know, 2010 maybe. I'm terrible at time, especially now. I'm terrible at time. And then we just started catching up, and we're like, oh, who's this dude? And so it's like, yeah, we are very often in touch, and we're always, like, so we're always available, but you kind of go through cycles, like when you catch up with an old friend.
Yeah. What do
But
you
we've
think of
we've
the? What do you
we've
think?
some. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say we also have an open door policy on our guest bedroom. So we have a lot of artists that have been to the residency that will come back and spend a night or two here.
So then, what do you think? It's impossible, but if you mention a couple of them, would be nice. After these artists that you have support with this amazing board that you have and your husband, what do you think is the consequences of these artists? Biggest achievement they have done, many of them.
Oh,
What?
it's hard for me to, because I wouldn't ever want to stake claim to, like, you know a certain artist, like, because I believe that being an artist is, being a successful artist is everything that's happened in your life to that point. If we can play a teeny tiny role, I'm thrilled with it. So I'm always very hesitant, because because it's not just any one thing that changes an artist. I mean, we have been lucky that I will say that the introductions that we've made while the artists were here have led to things like, Ebony G. Patterson, Tobias met her at the residency, and
Great.
she ended up having a solo show at PAM. That's happened in several cases, like Primary Projects, who you met earlier. They met Derek Adams here at the residency. They met Lucia Hierro here at the residency. They met Kenny Rivero here at the residency. And those are artists that they have, represent or show. It's Mindy Solomon met Basil Kincaid here, and she shows his work. I know I'll miss like a ton of them, but it's those things, and those are local things. And then there've been some amazing things where we had two artists that had always or not had always, but knew of each other's work, and then came together, Deborah Roberts and Genevieve Guignard, and then they spent a month together here, and then now they're both being represented by Susan Vielmetter in LA. And I don't remember who came first, but they brought the other one into the gallery. And it's happened quite a bit with, like, Kavi Gupta in Chicago. He represents
Wow.
Devin Shrimiyama and Kennedy Yanko, and oh my gosh, Alfred. There's many other, Alfred Conte. Those are artists that have all been. So it's neat to see how the artists are supporting one another as well, and bringing each other in. You know, there are many. So there've been stories of, like, collaborations. Danielle Tegeter met a musician here. Oh my goodness, his name just Matthew Evan Taylor, and now they collaborate all the time. It started with a project that she did at the Wellen Museum, and now they collaborate all the time. So it's also like, it's also things that happen like when resident artists are here and then they make connections with Miami-based artists, and then they help to take Miami-based artists
outside.
Outside. I mean, there have been books done, so it's really those connections can lead the opportunities from them are endless.
Unbelievable, to be able to project that, to help to project that in a way, through this organization. Can people buy online?
So not yet. I am working on that though. It's something that we're actually thinking about, but I don't have a way for that yet. But I'm working on it.
Yeah,
to be continued.
Yeah, no. I think it's an incredible, just to have the opportunity for them to sell online, to all countries and other places is also, that could be great too,
Yeah.
And any message you want to tell to the city, as the citizens of Miami, this that we need to do in order to make this better?
Why would you say, you don't have to be an art collector to support artists, right? There's so many other ways you can support artists. You can also just donate to their ideas and their career. Again, you can make connections for opportunities. You can, invite them to dinner and share, the skill set that you have. I don't know, like I said, if you're a banker, if you're a dentist, you can offer dental work in exchange for. I mean, there's like I use dental work because there are two dentists that are very generous with their
any kind of doctor is helpful.
Yeah. You what?
Any kind of doctor is helpful.
Absolutely. Doctors, lawyers, like there's so much restaurateurs inviting artists to dinner. I mean, it's not just about collecting work, it's also about supporting artists in their lives. Maybe you have an extra bedroom or a space in a warehouse that you want to give, that you're willing to give to an artist. Like, just don't, yes, collect when you can, buy local artists, yes, but don't limit it to that.
It's a great message. If you need anything from me in order to do the online thing, this couple of years of experience, I'm happy to share them with you.
I would probably take you up on that.
Anytime. The important thing now with the new world is that people have lots of time to be at home, lots of time to take a look of things. They want to be surrounded by things that comfort them. And immediate gratification is the new thing. So I think having them online could be a great thing. I really wanted to say thank you because talking to you is always that sort of like a protein shake, of energy. You have so much useful energy. Your energy is always towards think how can make the city bigger and how to support all these amazing people that you don't even know. They just consider themselves a wonderful soul. They are great artists, and you and your husband just jump there, to share a plate of food, to share a home, to do this amazing project. And I invite everybody that's just, to donate, to help them, to support them, and I'm very grateful for that.
I appreciate. Yes, donations help. When we have a great membership program, we do like really cool things with artists when we're allowed to bring people together.
Yes, they're great. The events are spectacular. When you do your events, and you see the families with the children and the grandma and the dog, and it's just beautiful to go into inside of each studio, the world of these artists, how they prepare themselves and doing it. I think it's remarkable.
I think the key is it just feels like, I mean, what we try to do is just always make it feel like you're home, right? Like everybody feels welcome. I mean, typically you're greeted with a hug. I don't know what's going to happen now, but it's like, but those are the things, like it's about, we just want everyone to feel hugged when they walk in the door, even if we can't actually do it anymore.
Absolutely.
Or now.
So I invite everybody to become a member of the program, you know, because I can guarantee you that it's gonna be fun and excited to follow you on Instagram, to support the artists. As you mentioned before, it's not only buying art.
Yeah.
It's just to share your knowledge, to share your whatever you can do for them. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Kathryn, for talking to us.
Thank you so much. I'm like, but we didn't get to talk about you and how you're doing.
It is. I'm happy and alive and great.
I mean,
you know,
you're the host doing all of this amazing things for all of us. What about you?
No,
How can we help you?
I started to do it for my artists, for my 34 children, I call them. Some of them are dead, you know, but I keep supporting them, you know, and you know, after that, I was like, this cannot end. So I started to call all my friends, all the people that support art, everybody that we can know about it. And you know, tomorrow we interviewing this amazing Turkish guy. He actually support artists in Turkey through his antique shop, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday we interviewed David Gill, which is one of the amazing galleries in the world, who is always avid to discover new people. So I'm just reaching out to my Rolodex and you know, and being lucky enough to share my conversation. This is my social time.
Well, and see, so that generosity breeds generosity. That's, you know, that's the beautiful thing. So you please do not minimize at all what it is that you are doing for us and for our community.
So much. I really appreciate it. It coming from you, it's the greatest compliment. I send you all my best.
All right.
Thank you. Keep safe.
I can't wait to see you.
Me
like,
too.
Actually touch you, see you.
Me too. All my best, my darling.
Right.
Thank you so much. Good talk.
Bye.
Bye-bye.